Celtics, negotiations in progress, the trade rumor that could change the team. Welcome back to the Celtics Talk Show. If you breathe Boston Celtics, if you follow every rumor, every behind-the-scenes movement, and every detail that could change the fate of the season, then stay with me until the end, because what's happening right now in the NBA is much bigger than a simple trade rumor. The scenario is changing quickly, and when that happens, prepared teams come out ahead. Before continuing, I'm going to ask you something simple, but it makes a huge difference for us. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now. We are very close to the goal of 1,000 subscribers, and reaching this goal really helps the channel's growth, helps YouTube recommend our videos, and allows us to continue bringing daily content, in-depth analysis, and real information about the Boston Celtics. Just click subscribe, leave a like, and activate the bell. This takes 2 seconds and greatly strengthens our work. Now let's get down to business. Is there anything scarier in the modern NBA than seeing giant teams, true title contenders, smelling blood when a franchise collapses? Because that's exactly what's happening right now. What started as a common market rumor, the kind that appears and disappears in a few days, is quickly turning into a real race between the league's big sharks. When you look at the table today, you see the New Orleans Pelicans having a devastating campaign. It's not a bad season, it's a complete disaster. A situation that sends a clear message to all NBA executives. We are open for negotiations. And when that sign appears, you already know what happens. Contenders call, cell phones don't stop, and the most interesting players become immediate targets. While the casual fan only looks at stars, those who build championship squads see value elsewhere. And this is where a name comes in that may not yet be known to the general public, but which is attracting the attention of practically all the serious franchises in the league. We're talking about Yves Missi, a 21-year-old rookie center who has silently become one of the most coveted pieces on the market. This is not an exaggeration. This is not empty speculation. According to recent information, the Boston Celtics, New York Knicks, Los Angeles Lakers, and Golden State Warriors have already made formal contacts to understand the situation. Stop and think about this list for a second. Current NBA champion, a direct rival from the East hungry for affirmation, and two of the most publicized franchises in the history of the sport, all interested in the same player. And why? Because in today's NBA, finding a young, athletic, mobile, rim-protecting center who is still under a rookie contract is almost like finding gold. Missi is not a flashy name, but the numbers and impact speak volumes. He scores little, gets rebounds, blocks shots, and most importantly, understands his role. He doesn't force plays. He doesn't want to be something he's not. He runs the court, finishes close to the basket, and corrects defensive errors. It's exactly this type of player that separates good teams from champion teams. And when we look at the Boston Celtics, this rumor takes on an even more interesting layer. Because here we are not talking about desperate need, but about strategic luxury. Imagine for a moment adding a young rim protector alongside Kristaps Porzingis and Al Horford. This isn't just rotation, this is shielding. It's ensuring that if there is any physical problem, the defensive system remains solid. And it's worth remembering. If there is a sensitive point in the Celtics' recent history, it is health in decisive moments. Adding young, cheap depth isn't just a good idea, it's management intelligence within the strict rules of the new collective agreement. And that's where a lot of people aren't paying attention. The NBA has changed. The second apron changed everything. Expensive teams are extremely limited. It is no longer possible to simply absorb medium or large contracts without paying a huge price. Players on rookie contracts have become even more valuable assets. Missi costs little, delivers energy, and solves real problems. That's why this dispute is happening. On the Lakers' side, the situation is even clearer. Anthony Davis has been playing at an absurd level, but anyone who watches the games can see the wear and tear. He battles every night against heavier, stronger players, and that takes a toll. A young center like Missi would allow Davis to play more loosely, helping the defense as a free safety, exactly as happened in the 2020 title campaign. But of course, there is risk. We are talking about a newbie. Trusting a 21-year-old player in a playoff game is not simple. The pressure in markets like Los Angeles and New York is relentless. A defensive error becomes headlines, becomes criticism, becomes persecution. And speaking of New York K, the Knicks' situation is almost desperate. Injuries, uncertainty, lack of stability in position 5. Missy fits perfectly into the physical and defensive style that the team requires. He doesn't need the ball, he doesn't take space away from the stars, and he does the dirty work. But if he ends up in Boston, the psychological impact on the Knicks will be huge, once again the rival getting stronger. And you can't ignore the Golden State Warriors, a team that always knew how to maximize players with energy, game reading, and movement. They've lost verticality over the years, and Missy would give them back just that. A constant target for pick and roll, a body to compete for the paint, someone who doesn't demand protagonism. Ultimately, this all creates an auction scenario. The more teams enter, the higher the price. The Pelicans, even in crisis, gain bargaining power. What once seemed like a simple trade for a second-round pick could now turn into something bigger. A prospect, a protected pick, something that changes the future of the franchise. And that's how the NBA market works. One bad week changes everything. 3 defeats in a row turn let's watch into we need to act now. The clock is ticking, and the pressure increases with each game. But I want to hear from you. Would you trust a 21-year-old player for important minutes in the playoffs? Do you think this type of movement is a necessity or excess for the Celtics? Write here in the comments because I read them all and I really want to see the opinion of the Green fans. And if you've made it this far, I reinforce the request. Subscribe to the channel. The goal of 1,000 subscribers is very close, and this completely changes the future of the Celtics talk show. Leave a like, activate the bell so you don't miss any updates, and stay with us because this market is still going to be hot. This story is just beginning, and when the exchange happens, you will want to understand everything in the smallest details. Stay with me. See you in the next video. And now I'm going to close it the right way because if this rumor becomes reality, the impact on the Celtics could be huge. The window is open, the market is on fire, and when the big guys start to move, there is no small change. There is a movement that changes the rotation, changes the playoffs, and changes the course of the season. So, stay tuned. Any new updates I'll bring here first, with context and without fluff, the way Boston fans deserve. And before you leave, do the following for me. Leave a like now, because this really helps the video reach more fans, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We are in the race to reach 1,000 subscribers, and reaching this goal is huge for us. It helps YouTube recommend the Celtics talk show, strengthens the channel, and makes us able to maintain this pace of content and coverage of the Celtics with even greater quality. Activate the bell too, because trade and hot news don't wait. And there's more. If you enjoy this type of deeper content, with game reading, cast scenario, and market analysis, I've left a perfect stop for you to continue now without losing momentum. The Celtics analysis playlist will be in the pinned comment. Click on it as soon as you finish here and binge watch, because there you have the most complete analyses on the channel. And I guarantee that you will come away understanding the Celtics on another level. Now I want to see the crowd making noise. Comment below what you think of this possible movement and which position you would reinforce first. I'm reading everything. We'll see you in the next video, because if this thing goes off for good, you'll want to be here when the bomb goes off.